What's up everybody, I'm the Nerf Modding Nerd, and this is a review of the Nerf Hyper Rush 40. This is one of the brand new Hyper Blasters, and I'm super excited to finally have my hands on it so that I can do a review. Included in the package is the blaster itself, 30 Hyper rounds. This thing can hold 40, but it only comes with 30. Thanks for cheaping out on us, Hasbro. Important note, mine only came with 29. I counted it as soon as I pulled it out of the packaging, but it only had 29. Also, it has these glasses right here, which they're fine. They're just safety glasses. I don't know how good they are for like actually being safety glasses besides Nerf, so use at your own risk. But they do come in plastic, so they're not gonna be smudged and everything from the store. Anyways, getting straight into the external overview, this barrel right here is orange as usual. It's smaller than the rival barrels because these are smaller rounds, and it doesn't have an end strike lug for obvious reasons, so I think actually a Hyper round would fit through an end strike lug. I should try that later. Over here, it does have paint on this side as well as this side. I'm so happy about that. It has the Nerf Hyper logo, which is actually molded into the plastic and then painted, and then it has these like racing stripes on both sides. They're a little bit different, but I'm super glad that they put paint on both sides. Anyways, this right here is the safety. It is only on this side. In the down position, it is safe, and in the up position, it is able to fire. It is not on the side of the blaster, so I'm sorry, lefties. Right here is a tack rail. It's kind of long. These are the same tactical rails as are on rival blasters, so if you have like a rival grip flashlight, I think it was, or a red dot, you can put it on there. You can also put it here. The only thing that I would think that you could put there would be one of their refill pods. Then there's another one down here. You could probably put a red dot down there or one of their refill pods. This right here is a sling mount. It doesn't have a second point where you can attach it for a 2-point sling, so this right here is the only sling mount because it's designed to be like a lanyard, I think. The grip is pretty big, just like other rival blasters. I feel like it's a little bit smaller than rival blasters, but overall it is really comfortable for somebody like me. The trigger is like a skeleton trigger, which you can see right there, and it has these ridges on there. I'm not a fan of the ridges, though I don't mind the skeleton trigger, and it feels pretty nice, and it's not like super uncomfortable like certain triggers that I've had with Nerf. Right here is a pair of iron sights, which corresponds with the front iron sight up there. It's kind of hard to line up on camera, but there you go. And then this entire blue piece right here is the access door. So you just pull it up like that, and I lost several rounds. That's cool. So as I was saying, this entire thing right here is the magazine door. When you have 40 rounds in there, like I do, I know I did say that this only came with 29 rounds, but I did purchase some extra rounds, so that's why I have 40 in here. It is pretty full, so you're not gonna be able to fit more than a couple extra, unlike the Prometheus where you can fit like 100 extra or something. But this thing is the entire access door. It's kind of a pain to close all the way. You have to like bang your hand against it and wait till it clicks, but it's not the end of the world. Right here is the unjamming button, so if you prime the blaster, and then say your trigger seizes up and you can't prime it again, then you can pull down on this button right here and then prime the blaster again like that, clear out your jam and whatnot, and then close it back up, and then you're able to fire. And you can double fire just like the Kronos. I don't know if you can triple or quadruple fire. I haven't tried that yet. I'll try it a little bit in the firing demo. Then right here is the priming indicator. Right now it is not primed, and now it is primed. You can see it is greenish yellow when it is primed and kind of a gray when it isn't primed. It's just like the rival ones, except for the rival ones are orange. Along the top here, this right here is just a clear door, so you can see how full your hopper is. Right here is another tactile rail. I guess you could attach a red dot or a sight up there. And this is the front iron sight that I talked about earlier. For the priming handle, this entire thing right here is the priming handle, so you can grab it anywhere along here. I would recommend grabbing it right about here, and then you pull it back. You see this entire thing moves like that, and then you push it back forward again, and now the blaster is primed, and you can go ahead and fire it. It's important to note that this thing does feel like it hits a little bit harder than rival rounds, so especially with this one, make sure that you are wearing eye protection. It does come with eye protection, and it says on the back, eyewear required, so make sure you are wearing eye pro. Make sure you're not shooting it at like small children, anything like that, because it's gonna hurt, and they're not gonna like it. Please don't shoot at small children. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's get into a firing demo. Alright, so firing demo here, of course with the standard hyper rounds, because you know there aren't aftermarket hyper rounds yet. Wow, those things bounce very differently than rival rounds. So one thing that I have noticed is they fall more through the grass, so they're harder to see, but they're an easier color to see than rival rounds. So you have to get like the right angle, but when you get the right angle, they're very easy to see just because of the fact that they are, you know, bright green yellowish, but they do fall to the bottom of the grass. And one even ended up in the pool. Fortunately, they do float just like rival rounds. Alright, next up, my personal opinion on the Hyper Rush 40. I really like the blaster. It's really cool, and it performs really well, honestly. I don't have a chrono that works with rival rounds or hyper rounds because I only have the N-Strike, whatever it's called, Modulus Ghost Ops chrono, I think it's called, and that only works with darts. So I don't know how hard this hits, but I believe it's harder than rival, like 110 FPS or something like that. But overall, I think it's great. The only thing that I don't really like is having this weird grip right here. Like, you didn't need that. My hand's fine. You could get rid of that and then it would holster easier. It is important to note it's not really a gripe, but I'm not going to fire this in my house or in my backyard. I think for the firing demo, I haven't filmed it yet, but I think for the firing demo, I'm gonna go to like a park or something because I don't want to fire it in my yard because of the fact that I have small